Now students, the last topic of this chapter is the structure of human ear, and we should take this topic because this is the only reason and that we can detect what is sound actually. Okay, so by God's grace we are having a human ear, and as we are in a Homo sapien category, so we are having this ear category, and this is what? This is a kind of machines, and machines that is receiving this sound energy, and we are here from this place we can detect the sound that is coming inside and going it through the wiring, and that is placing to the brain, and that brain now can detect what is sound actually. Okay, so let me show the structure of the human ear first. So as you know that this part that you are able to see, that is the outer part, that is not responsible for hearing. Okay, this is the only thing that is supporting the balance of the body, and also what is doing here, it is receiving lot of sound. Like the shape of this ear is like this, so that the sound that is coming, sound waves that is coming is get restricted by this shape and get inside through it. Okay, so to cover the maximum energy and receiving it at the maximum pace, so we are having this pinna. We call it as pinna. Okay, so from pinna you know that the sound is getting inside. Okay, from here we are getting the sound wave to the inner part. So here basically we are having three major parts of the ear, that is the outer part, middle part and the inner part, and we are going to discuss that one by one. First of all, I am telling you the diagram thing. As you can see here, the pinna, that is the important thing. Then ear lobes or ear bulb, or we can say that this is the part that is here hanging. It is none of the use right now, but the sound is going through the canal. That you can see the canal is going inside like this. So sound is going inside with this canal, and this canal now going to hit the eardrums. So eardrums is the, like जिसको हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं कान का पर्दा. Okay, so this is the place where all the vibrations are hitting the eardrums, and that is vibrating. That is just like a membrane, a thin membrane that is used to receive sound. Okay, and accordingly the inner bones are present inside this. That bones get shake again due to the eardrum that is present here. The bones that has been attached with this thing, so they are also get vibrate, and that vibration now again get preceded. So what is the use of these things? So we can say this is the outer part, this is the middle part, and this is the inner part. So one by one we will see that thing. Okay, one more thing before proceeding further, I want to tell you that one is cochlea. Cochlea is the here ring like a structure, and we are also using this basically for converting the sound energy into the electrical energy. Okay, and now from there this is get transmitted to the brain with the auditory nerves. Okay, from here we will proceed it by the auditory nerves, and that is connected to the brain. Okay, so moving forward, different parts of ear, we are having the outer part, that is this part. Now this is called pinna, and what does do? It collects sound from the surrounding. As I have told you, this part is collecting the sound from the surrounding. That is why we are having this kind of shape. Even when someone is speaking from the back side, you know that this is like this shape. Okay, so from the back side we are receiving less sound. So you can do that experiment at home also. Like suppose you are facing here, and one of your friend is speaking from this place. Okay, so you are facing to his side. Okay, now you are communicating with each other. Fine. So one of your friend is calling you from the back side, but while you are speaking to him and having a conversation with him, now the other friend who is speaking from the back side, you will receive a less amount of sound. And you can do that experiment, that who is standing in front of you, you will receive a good sound of him, and the person who is standing behind you, you will receive a less sound of it, though they are at equal distance. You can say them to stand upon the equal distance, but also again you will receive louder sound from him compared to him. Why? Because your ear shapes are like this, so the back sound which is coming from the back part will get not insert likely directly into the ear canal. It will go through like this and then this. Okay, so this is the part why the pinna is like this. So it is useful for us to collect more sound from the front part, and because back side is like it is also important to receive a back like sound, so that is again helping us but receiving a less amount of sound. Okay, now auditory canal. Here the auditory canal, that means this part, middle ear, that is also known as auditory canal. Okay, so it transports the collected sound of the outer ear to the eardrum. Okay, so just the canal work is it to transmit the part from here to the here. Okay, this is the only thing. Now the inner part, that is containing the eardrum. Okay, this membrane compresses of sound and move the eardrum inward. Rarefaction makes the eardrum move outward. Okay, you know that when we have done the rarefaction and compression thing, so what I have told you that let's suppose these are the tongs. Okay, so tongs, what they were doing, they were shaking like this. Tongs, we were shaking it like this, so they are producing a vibration and that again producing a sound. Now these tongs now get affecting the particles which are presenting here, and they get shifted to this direction and get close to the next layer of the particles, and then these tongs again get shifted to this. Like earlier it is moving here, so when they are moving here, they are pressing the particles to the other particles. When the tongs are moving here, so we can say there is a much more gap now, and that gap is known as the rarefaction. In the same manner, when the sound is received through the canal, this eardrum is one at a time making the sound that is crossing this, like the thing which is present here. Once it get rarefact and one it is get compressed. Eardrum is compressing the molecules, and again at the same time it is rarefacting the molecules. Okay, so this is the thing that the eardrum is doing, or we can say in the simple words that eardrum is also vibrating. Okay, तो हम ये भी बोल सकते हैं. Now ear bones, we are having 3 bones basically, 1, 2, 3, that is helping us to hear anything. What is it? Hammer, anvil and stirrup. Okay, so what is the use of this thing? Like supposingly sound is coming, these two friends are talking. Okay, so this friend is saying to this friend something. Now the sound has to be traveled this distance and then to the part of the ear, and then ear get vibrate and eardrum now getting vibrate. So we can say that some of the energy get dissipated here in the surrounding, like kuch energy to waste hui hogi. Okay, so the waste part of it will get it reduced in sound. Okay, the loudness part will get डिफेक्ट. ओके, तो लाउडनेस कम हो गई. लाउडनेस कम होने से उसको आवाज क्लियरली सुनाई नहीं देगा. और लाउडनेस किस में मेजर होता है बच्चों? वी मेजर इट इन डेसिबल्स. ओके, so that is again an important part. If somebody asks you what is the SI unit of loudness, so that is decibels. Okay, so loudness कम हो जाएगी, then he or she will not be able to hear even they are standing just 1 meter of distance. Then also it is very difficult to hear so properly, like they are getting the idea what other person is speaking, but still not clearly. Okay, so here these 3 bones are helping them to increase the volume, or we can say the increase the loudness of it. So before transmitting it to the brain, what we are doing, or our human body is doing that eardrum is shaking like this, vibrating like this. Now that is vibrating the bones also, and the functioning, the structure of the bone is such a like that they are actually amplifying it. We can use that word. Yes, earlier let's suppose the sound was coming at this pace, so the amplitude here is less. So after moving from these three bones, that is hammer, anvil and stirrup, so it will get on increase with the amplitude part. So now we can say that this is going to increase the loudness, and I have already told you in the loudness part when we were discussing it that when we are increasing the amplitude, then loudness will get increased by the square of it. Okay, if you are increasing, if you are doubling the amplitude, then the loudness will become the 4 times of it. Okay, so square of any amplitude is the loudness. So this is how loudness could be increased, or we can say amplified. So these three bones are what they are doing, they are amplifying the sound. Okay, now moving forward, again we are having inner ear, that is the most inner part of the ear, that is cochlea, and as these are known as the coil make structure. So what is the use of it? They are just converting the sound vibrations into the electrical signals. So students, our brain is not functioning like when eyes are open, the light is received by the eyes and then our brain is able to detect that light also. If it is so, then what is the use of eyes? Okay, and if like the sound is coming and sound is directly detecting by the brain, so then what is the use of ear? Okay, they are just an instrument. Eyes and ears, they are just an instrument that are receiving the energy, and that energy is get transmitted into the form of, they are get converted firstly, then get transmitted. So converting into the electrical signal is very important because our brain could only detect electrical signals. Okay, so now when the brain is receiving such kind of electrical signal, so this brain is able to say that yeah, your friend is speaking this right now. Even my sound which is coming to you is now get detected by your brain in the form of electrical signals only. Okay, now auditory nerves, I have told you that from this cochlea part it get converted into electrical signals. Now that electrical signals going through the auditory nerves, and that auditory nerves is connected to the brain. So the transport of electrical signal to the brain is the work of auditory nerves. Okay, so these are the all parts of the human ear, and if this comes into your exams, so you can just write down all these points with the structure and the functioning. As I have told you what is the basic structure, and I have told you how many parts it get divided and the basic functioning of it. Okay, that is the old part that you can write and just score a very good marks in it. And don't forget that loudness is having the SI unit, that is decibels. Okay, so students, this is how our sound chapter get finished here, and I hope you will learn it very hardly and do all the practice of the MCQs and question answers parts, and all the best for the exams.